All right, my friends, Hoop Money here, gonna bring you guys a trade alert via video instead of just actually typing it out in Discord. I'm trying to test something new, keep the paper trail away from social media when alerting these plays, so I'm doing it in a video form. I have not actually entered this trade yet, understand that, so wait for the text alert to see that, but you can just think of this as some exclusive due diligence only posted on Hoop Money trade alerts. As you guys can see, KSPN, that's the stock we're going to be talking about. It's a little bit overbought on the day, right? 21%. You're going to want to get it on a pullback, and that's why I have not yet pulled the trigger. However, tomorrow they do have earnings, so on September 13th, and they'll be filing their Form 10Q, and they'll be releasing earnings. So let's look at their past financial results. It hasn't been too good. However, if we're just looking at their balance sheet right now, I mean, they can't really lose too much. $4 million right there in total equities. If we're looking at goodwill, intangible assets, they don't really have any of that. You have $1 million in cash. Again, I mean, not the best financial statements that you want to see, obviously, but this is just a crazy squeeze play, just in terms of the setup that we're looking at. And that's where it could be good, it could be bad, it could be whatever, it could be whatever, it could be. All right, my friends, we are going to make an exclusive due diligence video on the stock KSPN. I've been doing some DD on it. I kind of like the setup. There are some risks involved, so let's just get it out of the way first so you guys don't just go and bet the farm just because I made the video. So the first risk is they have earnings tomorrow. So understand, earnings can always hurt or help a stock. Honestly, earnings are always a gamble. So I have not entered this stock yet. I might be waiting until tomorrow to enter, so don't necessarily jump the gun. I will be alerting if I do, but regardless, I want to go over this play because I've been looking at it for a while, and it's finally at a point where I think it could actually bounce. So that's why I'm making today's video. It's up 21%, 22% on the day. So again, it's not necessarily something you want to buy right now. You want to wait for that dip. You want to get it under VWAP. You want to probably get it around like 240, 237. That said, it's still insane. And let's look at some of the short interest data. So as of today, no shares left to short. All right. 4 days ago, they had some. They're really running out. They got to 11 this morning, and then they finally reported 0 right there. 200% cost to borrow. It stayed at a very high cost to borrow. And the short exempts have been pretty insane on this stock as well. If we move into Ortex, you can see short exempts were about 338,000 right there, and then at 295,000 here. Both of those days are respectively about 15% of the entire free float. Free float is only 2.11 million shares. So because of that, there's lots of failure to delivers. There's a high cost to borrow. There's kind of a liquidity crisis going on in the stock. And now you can see it's in a nice demand zone. So if we zoom out here, you can see that it is chilling down here where it has bounced multiple times on over. If we pull out our handy dandy rectangle tool, we'll be able to draw out a demand zone. And I'd say anywhere between this area and this area is a solid demand zone. So while it was chilling in here, definitely good buying opportunities. However, momentum didn't really come in until today. So as y'all can see, there was a 4-hour buy signal here on Lux Algo. So it's not Market Cipher. Market Cipher looks okay. It doesn't look amazing. 4-hour chart though on Lux Algo is printing a buy signal, and you can see what happens. I mean, over here, this one was kind of a dud, right? But this one was really good. This one was really good. This one was really good. So these buy signals have more or less been pretty good. I'd say Lux Algo is better than Market Cipher's big green dots when they give a buy signal, right? Right here was a big green dot. Right here was a big green dot. I'd go as far to say that Lux Algo gives slightly better buy signals than Market Cipher. And we got the buy signal there on KSPN, which is why I'm making this update, right? I like the technicals. I like how this thing is bouncing, and I've liked the short interest statistics for literally over a month. So I'm finally seeing the opportunity in this stock once again. So if we go in here, we can look at failure to delivers as well. Pull that up. You can see over here, 447,000 failure to delivers, almost 25% of the free float. Supposedly, they draw that down within the next 2 days. Right here, they had randomly 3 million volume, right? So there's probably some dark pool action trying to get that to cover. And there was even more failure to delivers over here in August. So they have been dealing with some type of liquidity crisis, and that's been illustrated by obviously the cost to borrow. Cost to borrow, one of the highest in the market. I looked at it. It's actually like the 11th or 12th highest in the market. Some of the other stocks that we're looking at, not really seeing it here. Where is it? Well, here it is, KSBN right there. If we're looking at QNRX, that's like one of the only other stocks that I really, really like the setup. Besides for KSBN, FaZe and Getty could be interesting this week, and they have super high cost of borrows and like over 100% short interest. However, they have S1As active, which could go into effect. Also, just market maker manipulation. Most of their calls got driven out of the money as of last week. So that's why I'm not really screwing with FaZe at this point. Maybe next week after OPEX could be something interesting with those. But for now, I'm looking at KSBN, and I'm looking for that entry. 4-hour chart. So what could end up happening in terms of an entry here is that 4-hour, or like when it does give the buy signal, it could be a peak, right? And if we're just looking at the trend right here, we extend this out, right? It would probably mean that there is potential for some consolidation, right? Before it legs up and makes its next move. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, right? Anywhere around like the 250 level, I will be eating up shares of KSBN. That's what I'm going to be looking for. That's what's going to be what you should look for in the buy alert. Remember, I'm going to refer to this video when I do make a buy alert. I'm not going to be tagging KSBN, and I encourage you guys as well to not tag it as much as possible, because I do think that hedge funds take data from stock influence. I hate the word influencer, but there's no really other word to describe it. Hedge funds love taking data from stock influencers. Let's look at some other time frames here. So daily chart just flipped green on the RSI. Also got a nice buy signal. First, a buy signal with that green RSI. So that looks pretty good. Weekly chart looks pretty good. We got big blue wave down here. Small blue wave down here, VWAP crossover. That looks pretty good. Hourly chart, this is where it gets a little sketchy, right? It's about to print the red dot, excuse me. So that's set to come down, but you can see it's been in red money flow for quite some time, and we finally have some of the highest momentum here on the hourly chart since the beginning of August. So almost a month and a half at this point. I've just been patiently waiting for that momentum change, and I think we have finally got it. So the next dip, I really do want to get in on this one, right? 30-minute chart already got that red dot. Potential for it to come down. There are buy signals active here on the hourly. Those will stay active until a sell signal comes in. But I'm going to just trust the gut with Market Cipher right here to just not necessarily buy this top. And that's just how it goes. Anything else that I got for you guys? Not that stock. The actual short interest isn't super high, but regardless, I really think there's something weird going on. I mean, you can see 58 million volume over there on August 3rd when it did take off. So regardless, this could be a situation where short interest is being hidden. I don't believe there's an option chain. Let's see. No, I don't see an option chain, so that's good. No manipulation. We're looking at the dilution capabilities of this company. It's actually pretty decently high, and that's because of their pre-funded warrants. So pre-funded warrants right here, $0 exercise price. But remember, these cost whatever company these cost Armistice $3.3 per share. Right now, the stock is trading at $2.74.75. So they're unlikely to even exercise those things unless the stock price forms a new high. And then anyways, it's looking much more bullish. So the big thing for me is earnings. I'm worried that earnings is going to be bad tomorrow. So that's going to be what might not make me buy. I don't want to buy before earnings because that's always a little bit of a gamble. But that's all I really got. That's pretty much all the information I have on KSBN. I did mention that currently they are sitting at 0 shares to short. I believe I did that at the beginning of the video. So something can really happen, especially if they beat earnings. And if you're willing to hold it overnight and gamble, I mean, it's an okay entry, right? That hourly chart was a bit overbought, but longer time frames, it looks good, and I do think that we could see a nice pop out of this stock. And then another thing to remember is that you want to sell the pop. As soon as you go green, as soon as you see some nice green, you want to get out, because this stock, like many stocks, I mean, we can pull up BBIG, for example, right? Pull up that daily chart. The pops are fast, but the sell-offs are slow, right? Goes up fast, but sells off slow. And that's the whole theory behind shorting, right? They try to make it so it's hard to capture those gains. You need to time it perfectly. If you don't time it perfectly, you're just going to be drawn down nice and slowly, 1% red each and every single day until it's at a new low. That's just how short squeeze stocks work. So you get the money, you get in, you get that money, you get the F out. And that's how you're going to play KSBN. Remember to wait for the alert if it does happen. This is not financial advice, all right? I'm not saying to go buy or sell this. Remember, investing's risky. Most people lose. It's just something that I'm eyeing personally. And if I do alert it, remember, I will be referring to this video, and I will not be referring to the actual ticker symbol. And I encourage you guys to come up with a nickname or something for this stock, so that we do not get so that the ticker is just not just popping up like crazy randomly. Anyways, love you guys. Peace out. Thank you guys for supporting me. Y'all are the best. I'll see you guys next time.